silver boobs, gold boobs, and beating up children. You could say Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain looks to have it all. Being the 5th main entry in the series, and as a person who has played all of the main entries, there's a sort of expectation of both stealth and what one could call a relatively healthy level of non-serious stuff. If you've played Metal Gear Solid, then you know that the game's focus on stealth was what made stealth what it is today in most modern games. The Phantom Pain, however, is different. The primary difference is the far more open-ended approach and more core freedom to wander outside of stealth. Sure, stealth is still your best option, doing your stakeouts and choking out dudes who can't resist boobs. And while you were highly rewarded for stealth, there is no denying I went in guns blazing, or rockets flying, or tank sniping, just about as often as I went in sniping. This is the game's strongest and most notable change. It has effectively embraced all types of play, and if you're on PC, mouse precision only adds to the enjoyment of spraying lead instead of tranquilizers. This makes choosing your loadouts for ops truly a thing of beauty, bringing about such a wide range of options that it not only modernizes its own sandbox formula, but also sets a standard for the word options. I even recommend trying out all of your options, up to and including interrogating soldiers to speed up your search for objectives. You might just find yourself running around meaninglessly looking for something if you killed everything in sight. Adding to your options is a buddy system, and I can say now that building up Quiet is worth it. Sure, her boobs are soft and warm in your dreams, but she also snipes like a champ, acting as both a diversion to speed up your stealthy extraction or putting just about anyone at a guard post to sleep for you so you can shop the comatose bodies for your next Mother Base recruit. Speaking of which, there's a metagame here, and it's called Mother Base. You build up Mother Base by forcibly recruiting soldiers, and by bolstering your base in numbers, you are allowed development of an admittedly mind-boggling array of equipment. This too adds to your options, creating an almost Toy Store-like excitement every time you go out on a mission to try out some new toys you just developed. Furthermore, even without Metal Gear Online released yet, there's still an online metagame with forward operating bases that you can infiltrate just as your own can be infiltrated. However, one thing I will note is that this game is not truly open world. It's actually divided into primary areas. They're also not really that large in terms of real estate, so don't go into this expecting size, as you will revisit many areas. Instead, I want to emphasize the word options again. This game's content is all about what you get out of it. I mean, why not make your own petting zoo? By targeting consoles and 60 frames per second, a core PC gamer with attention to detail will be able to see some last generation assets in use. This does mean it scales well to a variety of hardware. Despite that, I still had to turn down textures to high, as it seems I have a shortage of video RAM to accommodate Ultra. Aside from that, it ran at a solid 60 frames per second with some occasional stutters after long periods of play, most likely something that can be fixed with a patch based around asset loading optimization. In terms of the game, it has in-game in-engine cinematics that, while paling in comparison to some past Metal Gear Solid entries, still do a decent job of showing off some nice butts. Unfortunately, in terms of story presentation, you're going to have to keep up with the cassettes, but don't blame yourself if you end up with a 99+ backlog of them. It's a smart way to reduce overly long cinematics, but unfortunately leaves it up to you to get the full story in a way that's, well, somewhat ridiculous. Lastly, credits for every mission that all end with Hideo Kojima? Call me crazy, but I think he got himself fired by trying to plaster his name all over this game to make it seem like his own. Oh, and robot flame-throwing penis. You've been warned. I've played some great games this year that push modern game design. This game takes the word options up a major notch. While older Metal Gear Solid games focused on stealth and left shootouts and other offensive means less effective, the Phantom Pain embraces the way you want to play. In this manner, it's an accomplishment of design that allows just about anyone to find their way to have some fun. While its overuse of cassette tapes and mission credits show some odd flaws in presentational design, and its cinematics can't hold a candle to previous entries, it's stealth and action like you've never experienced before. I give Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain a 9 out of 10. That's it for today. Help me out on Patreon if you can, and subscribe for more gaming content delivered directly to your retinas. See you next time.